Hello and welcome once again to my house, my international house of Guitar Awesome. This is the first little mini lesson that we're going to do on this site. There will eventually be lots of guitar lessons on this site, and there will be lessons from other musicians as well, drummers, bass players, keyboard players, because I believe that playing with and learning from other musicians who play a different instrument to yourself is really valuable, and you can get a lot of insight into how your instrument works with them. But for today, we're going to look at a little idea which I learned quite some time ago, which is superimposing an arpeggio on a chord. Now, there's a lot of stuff on the net about arpeggios, scales. There's a lot of very po-faced guitar stuff on YouTube. There are also some really great things on YouTube, which I'll be letting you know about. I'll be adding links and suggesting other sites that you can look at. So I'm going to try to stay away from really highly kind of po-faced technical stuff, because you can get that already. So we'll try and do things that are much more musical ideas. So this is a principle. This is a principle that you can take away and you can use in your own music. The other thing about a lot of the ideas that I'll be talking about is there'll be ways of slightly diverting what you already do and making it sound a little bit more interesting. So the idea behind this, what I'm going to show you today, is how to superimpose an arpeggio but smoothly incorporate it into the minor pentatonic scale, which I hope you all know. This is in A. Okay, standard minor pentatonic scale. Obviously, if you're a beginner, you may not know that scale, but this YouTube video will be aimed at people who've been playing for a little while, so they should know that by now. I'm going to tell you the notes. This is really important. I also believe that knowing the notes on the neck, the name of each note on each string at each fret, unlocks the neck in a way that memorising mere patterns and shapes doesn't do. Knowing the notes on the neck is really important to gaining an understanding not only of how your instrument works, how our instrument works, but other instruments as well. So the notes in this particular scale, which is A minor pentatonic, are going to sound like this: A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C. Okay, that's our scale. Now, the reason that I think the notes are really important is once you start looking at chords and how you choose notes to make particular sounds over certain chords, the notes that are in the chord become major. You really have to know what the notes are. Of course, if you wanted to write diagrams and look at shapes and do all that, you could do that, and there are plenty of people who do that. But their music you can hear that they're not really thinking musically. Hang on a second, sorry about this. Not again. Hang on, I'll take that later. Yeah, you can tell that these people are using shapes to arrive at music, and it sounds different to when you use music to arrive at music. And we'll talk about that a lot more later. But for now, let's get back to this. So we've got our minor pentatonic shape. We're in the key of E. We're in the key of A. And we're looking at an A minor chord. The notes in an A minor chord, let's call it an A minor 7 chord, I guess. They are A, do it in order, A, C, E, and G. And the voicings that we use in this particular case is this one, straight A minor 7 chord, about as in tune as an old Les Paul's ever going to be. And over that we use the A minor pentatonic, and we can do all our blues things. All our typical wonderful blues licks in a slightly jazzy style. But how do we make that sound more interesting? How do we start breaking out of the minor pentatonic? Jessica Alba again. Sorry, I have to take this. Hi Jess, how you doing? Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yes, I got your shampoo. Yeah. Yes, it's Timotei. Yes, Jessica, it's Timotei. Yeah. Okay. All right. See you at Nando's at 8. Yeah. Thanks. Bye. Okay. So A minor pentatonic. The notes of the A minor chord. We had that. Yeah. How do you start breaking out and introducing slightly more interesting sounds to the straight A minor pentatonic? Well, one of the ways you can do that is by simply playing what would be considered to be the ninth of the chord. In A, that's going to be a B note. Anywhere on the neck where there's a B, if you're playing over an A minor 7 chord or an A minor family chord, it could even be a straight A minor triad, you can incorporate this note. That's how it sounds over an A bass note. It's a really, musicians and music people often use slightly tenuous terms like open and sweet. And you never really know what that means until you've lived it a while. But that sounds very soft to me. It sounds open and large. Put it over an A minor 7 chord like this. It's a lovely sound, as opposed to an A minor 7, straight A minor 7. Just add that ninth. I'm even going to just add it to that particular voicing. Really changes the character. If we use this voicing where I'm just playing a straight bar chord at the 5th fret with an open A, so playing these notes, G, C, E, A, over an open A. Sorry, let's add the B. So we've now got A, G, C, E, B. That's a great sound. So when you start adding a B, anywhere on the neck, in any of your minor pentatonic shapes, when you start adding the ninth, you create a really interesting sound over that minor chord. And the ninth can be found in that shape. You've got a ninth here. There's a B. There's a ninth. If you slip down, when you get to this note here, this C here in the shape, if you slip down 1 fret, you've got a B there. At this point in the shape, on your A, your octave A, if you were to go up 2 frets, you've got a B there. And on the top string, you've got your root there, A. If you go up to the 7th fret, you've got a B. It's a really interesting sound, and it doesn't take a lot to incorporate that into your standard minor pentatonic shape. Obviously, you then have to learn where that note is everywhere on the neck in your all of your pentatonic patterns. If you use the cage system, then that's easy to find. But basically, if you familiarise yourself with where those notes are, where the ninth is in that scale, and when we say it's the ninth, if you're not sure what we mean by that, it's the ninth note in the scale, which then becomes the ninth note above the root in the chord. So here's an A minor 7 with a root on top, or we could call that 8. That could be 8, the 8th note in the scale. If we add a B, we're now playing the 9th note in the scale, adding it to that chord. Hence A minor 9. It's a minor chord with a 9th added. Now, if you're confused by these what some people call theoretical concepts, you're only confused because either you don't understand it properly, you haven't learnt it. All of those things can be very easily learned, and they're not theoretical, they're actually played all the time. The word theory scares a lot of guitar players because they think it's abstract, it's a concept which they can't see the point of. But actually, theoretical concepts aren't abstract, they are used every single day in music, and they help you to understand how to create sounds and why something sounds a particular way. Now, some people can go their whole lives and play really well without ever knowing why it sounds good. Other people need to understand that because of their own search for meaning in what they're doing. Whichever level you fall at, that's fine. But if you want to learn how all that stuff works, it's not that difficult. You just need to have someone explain it to you properly or find a good book. We can do that on this website if there's enough demand for it, I'll do theory type clips where we explain a lot more and go into a bit more detail. And you should remember that I'm self-taught, so the way that I learnt all this was a real struggle, but I kind of simplified it in my own mind, so that actually makes it a bit more understandable to other people when I teach them, because I had to really make this make sense to me, and I'm not I'm not a rocket scientist. So just to give you another idea, I've prepared a very stupid little backing track, and I'm going to play A minor pentatonic, incorporating the ninth here and there where I hear it in an improvisation. It's a very simple backing track with one chord, an A minor chord, A minor 7 chord, and a little bit of drums and no bass, I think. So here you go. That's the ninth. I've just gone down a fret on my 3rd string from the C to the B. It's my ninth on my top string. Ninth on my D string, 2 frets up from my A. Now if I move up to other positions on the guitar, still looking for that ninth, that B, this is what we might get. Waffling now. So yeah, you can hear it's a really strong sound, really good. This has now been quite a long lesson, so I might split it into 2 parts. We'll see. Maybe we'll just have it as one long 30-minute segment. So I hope you found that interesting. Please get in touch with me via the Twitsphere on Facebook. You'll find all those details somewhere in the description of this clip, and I hope you've got some ideas there about how simple it is, actually, how simple it can be to make your playing sound a bit more sophisticated before we get into all the other stuff that we could do. There's a really simple idea, just add that note and see how it sounds. So once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. All the best, bye-bye.